Good afternoon again, everyone. I have to apologize. Out of excitement, I forgot to jump at the very beginning of our program. So I will take that opportunity right now. I am your sister, Josie Herrera. I lived my Cursillo in November 2001, 2 months after 9/11. 2 months, right? October, November. And that was at the Oakland Redeemer Center. My Cursillo number 64, and my Vicuria is Our Lady of Fatima. It's so wonderful to be with everyone this afternoon, and I am so thanking God all the way for your time and for being with us. So my talk at this point is basically just to give everyone, if you are not familiar with especially maybe with our new cursilistas, regarding our application form. And with that, I am going to share the form on the screen, and we'll just basically go through it on the basis that what we do and why we do certain things on the application forms. So let me share that form if I can find it right there. Okay. This is just basically, it's on a PDF format, and I hope you can see it well. Okay. So basically, as you can see at the very top, it has our name, and right underneath the name Filipino Cursillo Community, it says Catholic Cursillo Movement, Diocese of Oakland, and basically saying that we are a Catholic movement, and just so because there are also other Cursillo community that is not Catholic. I don't know how active they are or what, but if it's something that if you try and Google it, you will find it also. So going back to our application form, I am on the candidate form right now, and basically we are talking about the personal information at the top here. The personal information is one of the key informations that when we call the candidates, we confirm the name, the address, phone numbers, and email, and whatever else that may be up here under personal information. It may sound repetitious, or it may sound deceptive in some ways when people are being asked this question. I hope not. But the fact is, we just wanted to confirm that we have the right information, because sometimes writing can be misleading. If you look at my handwriting, I am one of those few people, or many people maybe, that my handwriting can be deceiving at times because I write a little too fast. But this is just to confirm the information that we have on the application, on the basis that we will be sending information out to the candidates. And it's important that we have that right information, and also definitely a phone number, because if we go down to the application, we get into the marital status and all these wonderful questions that we ask on the basis that, again, because we are a Catholic movement, we're all Catholic, that it is part of the marriage is one of the sacraments of the Catholic faith, as we all know. Okay, so that all that information, and also baptism, confirmation, is our part of the 7 sacraments. So we move on to the next part here. Why are you interested in joining Cursillo? We leave that up to you to indicate in there. as to why you feel that you are interested or why you wanted to join the Cursillo to begin with. This is for when you are approached by the candidate or by your friend as to do they need to answer this question? As much as possible, if we could politely let them know that yes, it would be nice because this is something that would help us determine as to why they would, why they are interested in Cursillo. Okay, instead of this, oh, I was invited. And it could be sometimes. The next part here, as you can see, it's highlighted with green: emergency information and medical information. This is important, okay? It is important on the basis that just in case, on my weekend, when I was directora back in 2009, and it is the only Cursillo weekend that we had 911 at the retreat, and because someone needed medical attention. We all have wonderful experiences over the weekend, but that was the only weekend since I became Cursilista that 9/11 was called. And it's like, okay, great, it's on my weekend too. But it wasn't anything crucial. It wasn't death threatening or anything like that. It was just someone overwhelmed over the weekend. But just so to let you know that that's an experience that I had when I was directora of the Cursillo Week. And this is why it's important to have emergency information so that we may contact family and or the closest next person that needs to be called upon if a situation like that ever arises. But thank goodness the sponsor of that candidate was fully aware of the friend's medical condition and her situation. So everything was just fine, really. But I thought, looking back at it or thinking back at it, I was like, oh my gosh, my weekend had the 9/11 at that time. So medical information, again, it's important. We do, as you might know, we do have actual nurses during the weekend that can actually assist. And in having this information, it helps them to evaluate the individual right away. Okay, so, and then again, further information, further medical possibilities that we may need to be aware of, specifically if there's any allergy on certain food that you might have or your candidate might have, we need to know and best to be aware of it so that, everything will work out or that we will be fully aware of the situation. Okay. The last part here, it says, when would be the best time to contact you? Please be sure that the candidate or the potential candidate will complete this part because we do follow-up phone calls. Just like what Sister Bell shared on her talk, and it just so happened that Sister Norma was the one that called her. And this is one of the information that is important because we want to make sure that when we call the candidate, that they will be available. And if not, then of course, we do leave a message and we do follow up. Okay, so just keep that in mind, please, when the candidate is completing the application. The second page, I think it's pretty much straightforward. It's the sponsor information. And I think for most of us, we are basically pretty much aware of what needs to be done. And if you're not quite sure of it, do let us know or check with another Cursilistas that might be an expert in completing the sponsor information. But no, please do check with us if there's anything that you might not be so sure of and or any suggestions that you might have. Okay, so that pretty much covers my part here as far as the application form. And any questions that might be of sensitive that might be sensitive, and or we are unable to answer for whatever reason. It is actually, especially with that involves the sacrament of the faith, that type of question is referred to our SA, our spiritual advisor in the Cursillo movement. So that pretty much covers the application. I don't want to bore you with the form because I know everyone is familiar with this form. And I want to keep moving here and open up the floor for any Q&A, questions and answers, and or just any ideas, suggestions that you might have, please share it. And so I look back to our tech team to check and see who might have questions. And hopefully one of us in the Precursor community will be able to answer your question.